Now, please welcome to the stage Jan Sumner from Wildlands League and Lawrence Martin from Mushkegowuk Council.
All right, let's go down.
Yeah, we just start here.
I always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And pretend I was some kind of a rock star, you know?
You are a rock
Thank you.
star.
These are all my cousins.
Ah, fantastic. I'm really sorry to hear that. Anyway, what a way to start. Such a good way to start. I got to stay away from the things so we don't set. Oh, we're going to stand back here, don't we? Okay. Don't move. Okay. Welcome. Welcome everybody who's here in the theater with us, but also welcome to our online audience. We have an international online audience for the first time ever. Yeah. And that includes Jill and all the teachers that she's got from her school board who signed up to take part with us tonight. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to start with the land acknowledgement. Is that okay?
Depending whose land you say this belongs to.
Yes. Okay. All right. So Lawrence said...
Depends what you're going to do with it.
Okay. So Lawrence told me it was against his religion to do the land acknowledgement. So I'm doing it, and also he said because we stole the land. So anyway, the land acknowledgement. I acknowledge that this is the land of the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat people. Toronto was covered by Treaty 13 and the Williams Treaty. Those were signed with many First Nations, but also signed by our governments. So it makes us all treaty people. And it means we all have to live up to the intent and the spirit of the treaties. And you'll hear more about that tonight. So I want to give a big shout out also to two MPPs who are with us tonight, Mary Margaret McMahon and Jill Andrew. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And if you don't know who Wildlands League is, I'm the executive director, Jan Sumner, and we are a Canadian conservation organization, and our mission is to protect 50% of Canada. And you might wonder how we're going to do that. Well, part of it is in partnership with amazing partners like Mushkegowuk, but also working with partners in other parts of Ontario. We have helped create a new national urban park with Parks Canada and many of First Nations in Rouge National Urban Park, and now we're working with Caldwell First Nation in Windsor and Essex. Dave's heading down there tomorrow to go meet with Parks Canada in creating Ojibwe National Urban Park. But protection is only part of what we do, because the other thing we do is to hold industry and governments accountable in terms of what they're doing on the land in terms of industrial extractive practices. And as we all know, that takes a big toll on the land. And then the other thing that we do is we actually we work to expose the truth about what's happening. And some of that work that we've been doing has been on forestry and looking at how forestry is impacting things and how it's contributing to the mega fires that are raging across this country. So that's a little bit about who we are and what we do. And all of that work is to drive us towards a new future, a future for a more livable planet. And to that end, we've invited you all here tonight to take a big leap forward, an enormous leap forward, as we work together as treaty people to protect Hudson Bay and James Bay with our partners along the coast, and hopefully we get a whole bunch more. Lawrence.
Miigwet, Janet, Ginaskumatin, and Higigona Gibejuitaman. Ginaskumatin, Omagasti, Omasa, Gibedi, Stego there. Egamagino, Shitkaginova, Synapske in a good Gino dega taeg, Mushkegowuk skik, watching the nomse. Omaga duchigateg, Vibachiala Muchigate, Nashpet, Chigategashi, Nashpet Stentau get the skino. Economaga Chigaque, Manat Stanok, Nikan taken no Chitabanano, Tantequias and Agastano Huban. Animan Magan Mabatsun, Mustede on his Tagon Gagibeji, Tegastigano, Ashmage. Daarbij wil ik het nu staan aan de meswe. Wat ben ik getrouwd in bedrijf te maken tussen de kaarten, wat goed doen tussen de kaarten. Wat goed doen ga je staan lang niet toch. Naast met je gestemd ook Sagi doing chigatig mina dantigi shiwaku chigatiga ski. Dantigi shiwaku mit dig magamistrigistino. Dantigi shiwaku maganaspano gumstrugshog. Gagi bejutan gagaskino. Dantigi shiwaku maganagutig we know papamodigetic mining companies get done. That's the beginning we know Ontario government Dantigi shiwaku maganaspan Canada skiga national mistake to one. Oma chigagwe miskigatig wako doing. Would you translate that for me, please?
You just said, I heard Wakotuin and I heard mining, and I know you were talking about doing things in a good way, right?
What I was saying is that, you know, when we first started talking about conservation for the Hudson Bay and James Bay area and the Hudson Bay lowlands, we went to the elders and they told us there's a concept that you must apply, and it's called Wakotuin. It's a concept about relationships, re-establishing relationships with one another, you amongst yourself and your own community, the other community next to you, even amongst First Nations themselves, because we have been divided in small communities by the Indian Act, by Indian Affairs over the years. We must establish our relationship with the land, the birds, the water, everything, all life around us like our ancestors did. We must establish relationships with these people that are coming to drill holes for resource development in our territories, the mining companies, and also establish a relationship that's been broken with the treaty makers of Ontario government and also with Canada. So our job is huge in trying to establish all of these relationships with one another. And I'm thankful, you know, what Janet and Wildlands is doing to be our partner in trying to find that truth of how do we do that. And there are many obstacles. And I'm glad all of you here are volunteering. You're all going to sign this petition tonight before you leave. Otherwise, you won't be able to leave. Basically saying that you're going to support everything we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm very proud to be representing Mushkegowuk this evening, to talk about the work we've been doing and to highlight many of the things that we have going on in Mushkegowuk territory. You know, we have the carbon that's there in the peatlands, the second largest carbon sink in the world. Our elders call that the breathing lands. It provides air for you and I to breathe every day, even in this smog in Toronto. Should I have not said that?
Oh, you go right ahead.
Okay. But it's a breathing land, so we must save it for not just us, but the whole world itself. And we also must save the James Bay and Hudson Bay because it's the breeding ground. They call it the birthing place of millions and billions of birds that migrate between South America through Mexico, North America, into our land. We have to work together. It's not just going to be Mushkegowuk trying to save the land for themselves, for the food for themselves, but it's everybody along the route where these birds fly. So it's a networking of all us humans to save the planet. So please listen in and enjoy yourselves. We thank the drummers for the song and the subway spirit that brought our brother Jim to us. And also we want to thank everybody else that's involved. I want to thank my team of Mushkegowuk staff that are here. So we're going to tell you all a really cool story. You're all set?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're starting with a song from Lawrence because the only reason we're here at Kerner is because he wanted to perform here. So, take it away, Lawrence.
She's right. This is the only reason why you're all invited here. Some time ago, like most people, you know, we leave home, go to high school, go to school, get jobs everywhere, but the longing for home is always there. And for me, it's the same thing. So one year I was able to go back home. And this is what I felt. This is a song called Mushkegowuk Alelu. Alelu means the people. where the northern lights shine bright, where the raging rivers flow. That's where I want to be tonight. Train rolls every second day to find a railroad end where Mushkegowuk lands begin. Take this heart home again. Mushkegowuk Cree from around James Bay, home of a language dead will stay. Home of the hunters of the Canada goose, home for this boy with some traveling shoes. Mushkegowuk, hallelujah. Mushkegowuk, hallelujah. Take this heart home once again. Let me go back there one time, where the land is such free for you and me, for all the family. Mushkegowuk Cree from around James Bay, home of a language dead will stay. Home of the hunters of the Canada goose, home for this boy with some traveling shoes. Sing with me, okay? You know the words by now? Mushkegowuk Cree from around James Bay, home of a language dead will stay. Home of the hunters of the Canada goose, home for this boy with the traveling shoes. Mushkegowuk Cree from around James Bay, home of a language dead will stay. Home of the hunters of the Canada goose, home for this boy with the traveling shoes. Mushkegowuk, hallelujah. Mushkegowuk, hallelujah. Mushkegowuk.